Praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure to the end. Shalom. Alright, so today is March 7th, 2022, the year of turn up. Year Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai is turning the prophecies up, and he is not failing. Yahweh our Father through our Savior Yahweh Shai is making these prophecies crack, man. So right now there's a shortage of fuel that's affecting the world, which is man-made. Alright, this shortage is man-made, as well as inflation, all right, on goods, on commodities. It says where inflation is hitting hardest: prices of groceries, utilities, rent jump. So everything that is necessity, all right, is getting expensive, which is inflation. Which you're literally having hyperinflation with fuel prices, all right, where they're changing so fast. Overnight, you go to the pump, it's $3, it jumps up to $3.80. All right, hyper meaning fast. Inflation is that the price is being inflated, increased. All right, well, it's going to increase much more as the shortage increases, as well as the goods. Because you got to remember, groceries come on trucks. All right, you need fuel for groceries. You need fuel for all these necessities that you have. Even utilities. A lot of people live on propane. All right, like where I live, we have propane, and they need fuel to bring the propane to the neighborhood to fill up all the tanks. Alright? But everything is going to increase, and it's by the will of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. This is prophesied. This is a sign of the end of this wicked empire of the so-called white man, the red Edomite. Alright? And this ain't just happening here in America. This is a worldwide event. Alright, I was looking at all the fuel shortages in India. Alright, they had all their gas stations, their diesel gas stations, shut down. Which diesel and gas are, different byproducts of oil, but you know what? You understand what I'm saying. The fuel for a vehicle. You got gas, and then you got diesel. And the diesel is usually sold where they sell gas. And diesel is more expensive than gas. Alright? And the diesel, alright, was shut down in India. And these people were just left to one pump. They were fighting over it. They were in lines for hours, probably for days now, because this was a couple days ago. All right, and that's what's coming to America. The only difference is these people here in Babylon, all right, they got guns in their waist belt. So you're going to get murder, all right? You're going to get suicide. You're going to get all kinds of events of bloodshed. That's what's going to happen in America. America is going to become a bloodbath very soon. And just a testimony, I was at work yesterday, and where I work, there's a lot of truckers, and I had two truckers I talked to, one being an Edomite female and one being a Jake male. The Edomite female was upset because we didn't have what she wanted, and she said, there's going to be war in the street. What are you going to do about it then? Got all stupid. And then the Jake, I was talking to him, and I asked him about his gas prices, his fuel prices, and he says, I don't pay for fuel, but what's happening is they're not letting us fill up at the tank. Alright, they're not letting them fill up their entire tank. He had to stop. He had to make 4 stops to get a full tank of diesel. Alright, which it makes it harder. It makes it more expensive. Alright, and this is going to lead to the shortage of groceries, of things of necessity. Alright, which fuel in America is a necessity because the way these cities are set up, a lot of times you got to travel for miles to go to work. Now,
at all. Shit, I might not even come outside. Why? Cause the motherfucking gas so high. Come on. Had to cut my mama off, she wanna ride for the free. About to see how long I can ride on E. Man, this gas so high, ain't no traffic on the street. Man, this gas so high, I'm about to go back to sleep. Man, this gas so high, I'm about to grab me a bike. Man, this gas so high, I might just grab me a flight. I ain't even finna drive, I'ma go ahead and jog. If you ain't got over 20, then don't even call. 30-minute destination, man, fuck that drive. You think I'm finna go to work, man, fuck that job. Man, the gas so high, I looked up that guy. I reminisce about the times it was 205. They asking me for a ride, they must think that I'm the nicest. The only time I'ma say I ain't got my license. Man, this gas so high, somebody call Joe Biden. Sometimes I just wanna cry when I look up at the price. Why the fuck is the gas so high, bitch? Man, nobody better not ask for a ride at all. Shit, I might.
alright, as you can see, they're talking about quitting their job, staying home, going back to sleep. Alright, looking at the prices and crying. Alright, why are these things happening? Because there's a shortage. And it's not because it's a natural shortage, there's no more oil for fuel. It's because it's a man-made shortage. Alright, this is what the elite, the serpent, Esau Edom, the so-called white man that rules the world, and he's the wicked. Alright, he's doing this. He pretty much putting down the anaconda squeeze on the people. Alright, and he's going to squeeze them into taking that RFID, micro CHIP, because he's going to make that mandatory for buying and selling. Pretty much he's going to bring you in such a desperate state that you'll be willing to take his device. Alright, it says, will there be a shortage, a diesel shortage? It says, is there a diesel shortage in 2022? Although not everyone is feeling it, in many places at home and abroad, so this is a worldwide event, there is definitely a diesel shortage. Definitely a diesel shortage. Alright? And who's causing this shortage? The so-called white man, the red devil, Esau Edom, which is the wicked, and he is ruling the world. And that is why the world is in the wicked state it is. They're going to bring such a hardship, such a famine upon the people that they're going to cause them to fucking lose it. When you lose it all, you lose your ability to go to work. Alright, it costs so much that it ain't even worth going to work no more. People resort to violence. And America is going to become so violent, really the whole entire world, but America is going to be the worst. Alright? Because America is Babylon the Great, who are to be destroyed. And it has prophecies to fulfill. And one of those are that it's going to fall by violence. But you're going to have civil war, alright, which they're going to also include that MOTB, the RFID, micro CHIP that they're going to mandate, alright, and make it mandatory for buying and selling, and then nuclear destruction, world war. Now I pulled up some scriptures, alright, Revelation, I'm going to go to Revelation 6. Alright, verse 4, I'll start at 1 actually, because the first rider, the rider of the white horse, is Yahweh Shai. He's the one that's controlling everything, alright, by the power of his father Yahweh. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, And I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, come and see. And I saw and behold a white horse. The white horse is Yahweh's chariot, his throne, so-called UFO. And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Which Yahweh is a man of war, just like his father Yahweh. And that's what he's doing. He's stirring up war. Alright, you're going to have war in the streets. You're going to have war amongst these nations. You're going to have a war in heaven. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. That's why prices are increasing. That's why you have shortages. You have inflation. You have shortages because the devil, the red devil, the so-called white man, the rider of the red horse, horse being power, he was given power from Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai to take peace from the earth. Alright? The devil works for Yahweh and Yahushai. Right? This is the judgment that's coming forth. And it says, and that they should kill one another, which they do. World War I, it was a so-called white man's war. World War II, it was a so-called white man's war. World War III is going to be a so-called white man's war. There is no so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American Indian that has a superpower on earth as a nation. Alright, it's the so-called white man that rules the world. You got America, EU, which they got NATO. And there was given unto him a great sword, nuclear missiles. The so-called white man has nuclear missiles, and that's what they're going to go to war with in this last days. World War III is going to be a nuclear war. And there went out another horse, so Esau brings this with him, that was red. I read that one. Let's go to verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. So this follows Esau, which is hyperinflation. The word black means void, empty, dead. Alright? And that's what he's doing. He's killing the economy. He's causing shortages. And with shortages comes inflation. See, black, an adjective of the very darkest color owing to the absence of. Alright? Absence of what? Absence of food, absence of fuel, absence of life. Because that's what comes with no food, no water, no ability to support yourself, being a slave to one of these corporations. Right, which is, look at number 2, of any human group having dark colored skin, which is false. All right, because that color black you see right there, the square black, the black square on your screen, there is nobody that color. A so-called black man is actually brown. All right, the so-called Negroes are the tribe of Judah, and they are Israelites. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which been scattered through the world in slavery, are the Israelites. Right? And there's no such thing as a so-called black man. Just like there ain't no such thing as a so-called white man. Right? There's different shades of brown and different shades of red. Alright? And just like they lie to you about calling a so-called black man black, alright, calling a Judite black, alright, that's how they're lying to you about the economy in the greatest state. That is doing well, it's going to get better. America is going to be healed. They're lying to you. Alright? This red devil is going to bring such an inflation that people are going to eat their children. That's how bad it's going to get. Alright? Because he is the balances, he's unjust. The so-called white man is unjust. He's wicked. Alright? That's why he'll give you a dollar that has no value, and then he devalues the dollar he gives you. That's why the gold and silver is being devalued, when in fact it should be worth much more. But why? Because it's called wealth confiscation. That's what the so-called white man's doing. He's taking your wealth. He's buying it dirt cheap. Alright? He's going to enslave you with the MOTB, the implantable micro RFID micro CHIP. That's his plan. Verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine pertain to the hopeful elect of Israel, but the wheat. Alright, what did they just say about what's going to be affected with Russia and Ukraine? The wheat. Right? There's going to be a shortage of wheat. What about, in fact, I could show you that. I got a news article. Alright? Right here it says, how Russia's Ukraine war will make bread unaffordable in the Middle East. War in Ukraine threatens world food supply. Not just the Middle East, world food supply. Alright? And it says, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, which barley you use to make your beer. So you're not going to have none of these things. And that's what's going to cause these people to cause them to commit sedition. Alright? They're going to rise up against their elected politicians. Alright? Because when I was watching that India, let me get it. So right here I put in fuel shortage in YouTube search engine. And you can see all these videos, which are recent, pretty recent. Look, 2 days ago. Alright, dealing with the fuel shortage. But there was the one in here with Sri Lanka, India, and they were pissed off. They said, this is what we get for voting for the politician, which is going to fulfill, even here in America, 2 Ezra 15, there's going to be sedition amongst men. Right? They're not going to respect their politicians. They're not going to fear the police. Alright? Because they're going to want, and they're not going to be able to have. Because these people, their belly is their God. Look, oil could hit $160 per barrel by end of next week. Next week. All right, 1970 fuel crash happened when it hit 2008. That was a collapse in the economy, and it was 120. So what is it going to do when the oil is 160 a barrel? Right now it's $100 a barrel, and you're complaining about the gas price. What's it going to be when it's $160 a barrel? J.P. Morgan and Bank of America just came out and said that you could see $200 a barrel. All right? So this so-called white man, the red devil, all right, he's bringing this shortage upon the people to cripple them so that they sell their souls. All right? It says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, which is the grave. All right, so what comes with famine? What comes with these shortages? Death. All right, and who's bringing them? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of. And he was given power by our father Yahweh through his son Yahushai, for he is a weapon of destruction against the wicked and them that do wickedly. This is judgment. Alright, it says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Alright? So these devils, these so-called white people, which are biblically named Edomites, alright? They're causing this. Alright? And that's why there's going to be sedition amongst men. It tells you that in Second Ezra. Oh, look, the internet's back on. Let me see. One day ago, look, record gas prices, $6.95 to $7.55. Come on, man. And they're not telling you this in your everyday media. They're talking about the Russian and the Ukraine war, which is just a fucking smoke and mirrors to cover up the true thing that they're doing. They're going to starve you and your children to death. And that's if you don't eat each other before that. Right? Oh, look right there. Sri Lanka. Food, fuel shortages lead to protests as economic crisis bites. Hey, and this is only 5 hours ago. I'm telling you, I saw a video 7 days ago that they were in the same shit. So now they're probably fucking each other up already over there, stealing from each other. Which it says that in the scriptures, alright? It's prophecy being fulfilled in 2022, the year of turn up. 2 Ezra 15, verse 1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, the Lord's people are the Israelites. The words of prophecy, which we've been telling you this through the Holy Spirit, that these things were going to come upon you, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, which we come out of the Bible with it. For they are faithful and true. And you see, they are faithful and true. They sure are. They're coming to pass. As sure as the sun rises, hey, these prophecies are coming to pass. Fear not the imaginations against thee, which you got the elite, they want to kill us. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, the lack of faith. All right, our people don't believe us. That speak against thee, scoffers. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, So Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is bringing these plagues upon the world. The sword, which is the so-called white man, the rider of the red horse, the red man, Esau, Edom, and with him comes shortages, right? Inflation, unfair balances, which brings forth famine, death, and destruction. And that's what's going to bring forth sedition. It says, in verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, the so-called white man, and the destruction of his kingdom is at hand. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. But you're going to have civil war, you're going to have world war. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Which the Lord's going to give these leaders to their people. And they're going to tear them to pieces, man. They're going to fucking hang them. They're going to drag them behind cars. You know what I mean? They're going to do horrible things to them because of what they brought upon them and their children. They're going to say, I voted for this motherfucker. Alright? And this is the judgment that is to come forth. It says, and man shall be afraid, and man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Alright? So they're going to be killing each other out here soon. Very soon. It could be next week. At $160 a barrel of oil. I got 2nd Ezra 9. He answered me then, and this is an angel telling Ezra of the prophecies, and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Pretty much look what's going on around and see what time it is. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. So we are in the end of the so-called white man's empire. Alright, we're at the end of the so-called white man's age. Alright, we are at the end and at the beginning of the ruling of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai on earth, which they control everything. But he gave the so-called white man a time to rule. Alright, which they pretty much been in power besides 1,000 years from the Greeks till now. And now we're at the end of this so-called white supremacy. Alright? But with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Ba'asham Ha-Rakah Quadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom and Abba Babal.